I don't even know. Would that be an adjective adverb, or would that be?
Okay, look. I think we can all agree this is off topic for our cooking podcast. Now we're finally starting for real.
Oh my god. Please.
You're
I've-
falling into our trap, Sarif. You're
I-
live streaming. Now we can have a real cooking podcast.
Oh my.
A raw onion stew.
I actually have some steak marinating right now.
Before we start.
Yep. Okay. So you've all entered the city of Monspire through different means. Normally, this is where a recap would happen. But doing a recap for everyone's session 0 would kind of give away information that I don't want to give out. So instead, there are some known things from everybody's point of view. Right now, there is a wagon that is going down the street of the church district, and there is a peculiar-looking human that is next to a dwarven guard. Kay, you can introduce what everybody sees and looks like, because you're going to do a lot better job defining your character than I will.
Alright. Okay, looks human at first glance, and then you take a better look. And he's got no irises, all black eyes. He has horns coming out of his head. His ears are a little bit pointy. He does have a tail, and he's got some slightly sharp teeth. So obviously, he's not a human. He's a tiefling. But he seems pretty personable. He's not very intimidating, except if you're scared of, well, horns and fangs and tails, then yeah, maybe he's very intimidating. But besides that, he's definitely on a scrawnier build. And there's a picture in the
chat
of his face. I will find it and repost it.
Yeah, that'll be good. And in front of Kay is Amiko. Miko is in where normally you'd be guiding the horses, sitting right next to the dwarven guard. Miko, you can go ahead and let everyone know what you look like.
Alright, so, as you first look at Amiko, the very first thing you're going to notice about her is she is wearing a set of armor that is far too large for her to start with. But even that is not what catches you. It is the fact that the armor is actually made out of dragon scales. Black dragon scales to be specific. Upon closer inspection, you will also notice that she does look different than any human you would see in this part of the world. For a player perspective, she's kind of Asian descent, which is rather rare on this continent, I believe.
Yes, 100%.
But yeah, that's just kind of what you see at first glance.
Alright, so now as this wagon is going down the street, you will notice this creature that jumps on a horse right in front, right before it gets to that checkpoint that the other two are at. So, Biggledoon, describe everybody what they see as you jump on this horse that is literally in front of Amika.
You see a tall furlbog, blue hair, light skinned. His hair looks immaculate, or he thinks he does, or it does. Yeah, kind of a pinkish wide nose, and kind of these deep blue eyes. And he's pretty tall.
Sweet. And I believe, before we go too further into the roleplay, you did say something like, hey, like trying to be all smooth to Amika. Yeah, and then, so, meanwhile, as soon as this happens, strangely enough, there are two people and some clerics of Bahamut in front of the road that's trying to stop the wagon. Silver, you can say what you look like first, and followed by Donar. Man, I'm doing so good without actually looking at character sheets.
Yeah.
Especially since
So-
I didn't make it nice for you. Already got that.
Yeah, you're good. All right, Silver, go ahead.
Okay. So from perspective of us approaching the wagon, you would just notice me in very heavy armor, chainmail, and a very, very special shield adorned with a symbol of Bahamut. But if you were to see my face, you would notice that my eyes look semi-dragonish and silverish. But if you were to see my full face, you would be hard to press if I was human or elf at first. But I definitely don't look like either. But I also don't look like anything else that you may have not or may have seen. I have a kind of olive skin texture and a kind of brownish dark hair to black. But you could swear that as you see me in the light, that it's silver, not what I just said.
All right.
But
Awesome.
so that's me.
All right, Donar.
Standing next to him, actually kind of towering over him, is a rather large dragonkin. With I don't know if your characters would be familiar enough to know, abnormally large vestigial wings on the back. He has notable characteristics. His scales are of a brass color, but he has silver eyes. And you see faint. Well, if you're observant enough, you might see faint trails of smoke coming out of his nostrils.
And then right to...
And, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to
Go
describe
ahead.
one more thing important. Whereas Ace didn't mention that, his character's shield, black image of Bahamut on a white background. My character's robes is a brass colored image of Bahamut on a white background.
And right to the right, seemingly popping out of nowhere, but yet right, I would say, central of where everything is going to eventually collide, right, when these horses stop, is Ez. So, Hunter, if you're available, let everyone know what Ezranoth looks like.
I can go ahead. So standing at 6'3", a human-looking individual with curly, longish brown hair, ruby red eyes, and a pretty immaculate set of what was the term? Right, snow whitish wings appearing out of his back, with some pretty basic equipment.
Sweet. All right. So as the horses come to a stop, Biggledian is calmly on the horse, and he, he's also trying to vie for the attention of Amico at the same time as Donar and Silver have stopped the wagon now completely. So you guys are all there.
I'm just gonna turn to the guard and be like, "Is this normal?"
No, this is the most abnormal thing I've seen.
And what do you plan to do about it?
Well, the clerics of Bahamut are here, so I imagine they're stopping us for a reason.
Alright, I'm just gonna, like, kick my legs up onto the edge of the thing and, like, cross my arms and lean back and just kind of watching.
I just want to drink in the tavern. What? Why the stop?
Wise indeed. You've been chosen to take us.
I've been chosen now.
I just laugh a little bit. I'm like, no, we're here to adventure.
All right, so are we all going to the Adventurers Guild? You can just jump on the back of the fucking wagon and we can go.
I just stare at them. Well, that's rude.
I start walking towards the back of the wagon without saying
Yeah,
anything, since he's already said we can.
Yeah, I just stare angrily as I walk to the back now.
Alright, so Silver and Donar jump into the wagon, Biggledoon's on the horse. And at this point, the Dwarven guard looks, and he's very short, reddish beard, fiery. You can tell, like, he's got a temper, right? And he looks at the Biggledoon, and what are you doing on the horse?
I kick my feet up to where they're like laying lazily long ways down the horse, and I look up at the lady who's driving the cart, and look at this. A friend of mine over there told me that you might be able to help me with some information.
Me? I literally just got here. Not 15 minutes ago.
At this point, Duncan, which is the guard that you point out, walks up and says, "Yeah, you're the Outlander, right? One of them Bane's newest chosen." And then the dwarf that's there is like, "Yes, you can clearly tell."
What is that supposed to mean?
Dwarf just gives you a sharp look and be like, "If you think any of you people look normal, then I can't help you."
Kay touches his ears and absent-minded thinks like, well, that's a little bit rude.
Aye. Morden, give me strength.
Well, alright, so what do you need help with?
I'm looking for a thief.
A thief?
Somebody unknown to me. I had an artifact stolen from my temple in. Well, we didn't give me a town that I came from. One of the local temples here.
Honestly, with
An
Melora,
artifact.
she probably wouldn't even name her town.
Yeah, Melora. So, and I was told that you might be able to help me with that. Point me in the right direction.
And at this point, you could tell that, I imagine Miko looks just confused.
Yeah, she's just like deep in thought trying to think of anything. She's like, I don't think I've seen a thief. And then she thinks back to that black robed individual she saw,
Mhm.
like right before getting on the boat. She's
Mhm.
like, well, I did see, I don't think that could possibly be who you're looking for. That was on an entirely different continent.
Oh, different continent, same name.
Duncan looks at Biggledoon and he goes, "Maybe you should just maybe Melora is just telling you to follow follow Miko if this group would have you as another adventurer, and maybe and they'll lead you to the thief."
Okay. Hey, fine by me. And I just kind of, I'm going to turn around and without even waiting to see if they say anything and just kind of kick back on the horse and put my feet up on the thing and just kind of ride along.
Can you get in the back of the fucking wagon?
I'm fine. It's cool.
Question: who else is in the back of the wagon at this point?
Okay. Is Ez in there?
Yeah, Ez has made his way to the wagon, yeah.
Alright, so Kay and you, Donar, Silver, and Ez are in the back. Amiko sitting in the front, Biggledoon's on the horse.
Which one was the tiefling?
Okay.
Kay.
Okay, Kay is the tiefling. Okay.
Kay
Alright,
is
I'm trying-
probably positioned all the way closest to the front of the, as close as you can be towards the front.
Okay, I'd probably ask in Draconic if anyone understands me.
I'm going to look at you and say, hi, I'm Draconic.
Nice to meet you. Where are you guys headed?
Wherever the road takes me.
Okay. Good detailed information.
At this point, the dwarf has given up on giving Biggledoon to get off the horse. Says, "Fuck it, I don't care." And then the horses start moving. Biggledoon, make a dexterity check.
Okay.
Falls off, gets trampled, and dies in session.
Alright. Where are you?
He survives the trampling. He doesn't survive the wheels.
18.
Alright, you're fine. You're rock steady. You might as well just be walking on land.
Yep.
While we're riding, can I just lean over to the guard and whisper, is it normal for people to have wings here?
The dwarf literally leans back towards you and goes, "Gotta be real with you. Everybody in this wagon, including him over there, and even yourself, are absolutely fucking the weirdest thing I've seen in this last 10 years."
Was that loud enough for me to hear it?
If he was whispering, since you know Amiko was whispering
Okay.
back, you can raise a perception. I'll go against his stealth.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
I-
like right behind me, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I want to see if I hear that. So.
I am also very interested in these. I'm just staring
I
at
only
them
got
going
a,
up.
I got a 5. Never mind. I probably didn't.
No, you did definitely not with a 5.
How about a 19?
Nope.
Oh damn.
Yeah, he rolled very high.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lean back and be like, it's like, I don't think it's a
6 is not.
coincidence that if the 6 strangest people you run into in a decade are all in the same wagon.
Yeah, the gods work in mysterious ways is what I've learned, and they like to fuck me right before I'm supposed to get off shift. He says that out loud.
Kay laughs.
I actually
Dwarf, right?
invented
I will.
I stare in his direction with either disdain or understanding.
I will dig in my bag and just pull out a gold and hand it to him as like, the drinks are on me tonight.
This was
Oh,
the dwarf,
I
right?
like you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tip an imaginary hat.
Since he was saying that out loud, I'd respond in Dwarvish. Are you okay? You sound upset.
Wait, well, it is about 12:30 in the afternoon. I've been up since 1 p.m. On my shift that was supposed to end at 12, but no one else has the balls to know what to do with Outlanders apparently, so I'm on escort duty when I should be getting fucked up at the tavern. So I apologize, it's nobody's here's fault. Let me just get you to the adventurers cleric so they can either put you where you want to be to adventure and do whatever, or send you back home, whatever you need. I really don't care.
Well,
Kay
it
responds
helps.
in Dwarvish. Thank you. I appreciate
Do you
it.
all know Dwarvish? As he says it in
I was about to
Dwarvish.
say as well, if it helps, I appreciate it. Still in
I mean, it's no
Dwarvish. I'm
garbage to
assuming.
me.
Did he respond to us in Dwarvish or continue in common?
He continued in common, but then when he said, "Do you all know Dwarvish?" he actually responded that in Dwarvish.
I look around, waiting to see if anyone else responds in Dwarvish.
I reply in Dwarvish, yes.
What the fuck?
Kay
Frog, I
laughs.
guess most of us.
It's like Kay laughs and responds back in Dwarvish. I just thought the culture was interesting.
We
This is
had
the
Dwarvish
weirdest-
engineers that helped us out.
Well, this feels almost weird speaking my native tongue to people that are probably haven't seen once by in I don't even know how long, but just be careful in the city.
Thanks for the warning.
Like, don't speak Dwarvish. He
I-
says that in common.
He's answering now in common. Doesn't matter that you all speak Dwarvish or not. I'm pretty sure some of you do not, but
I don't.
yes.
So this whole conversation, I've just been sitting there.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm still speaking in Dwarvish since he speaks Dwarvish, and I
Yeah.
prefer not to use common.
And I'm just staring at you while you speak, trying to see what the tone of the conversation is.
I would feel you. I'd like quasi whisper to you. It's like that whisper, but like the whisper loud people do, so other people could hear it. Just relaying what's going on in Draconic.
This
to you.
guy's an asshole.
I like how you're translating the Dwarvish into Draconic in front of other people.
Jesus
At this
Christ.
probably-
point,
I'm gonna
Is
let
there
you.
anyone
Please
here who
don't
can't do
comprehend
either of these
languages.
things? Is anyone here who cannot speak Dwarvish or Draconic? Because I'm just wondering if there's anyone here who doesn't
Show
know more.
I
just show of hands.
wait. I believe Hunter was trying to say something.
Oh.
Ez just stares across at the people speaking Draconic with a very muted expression whilst you guys just converse.
Well,
Well, no, I was translating it into Draconic. You said you spoke Draconic, right?
Oh yeah.
So then you would have caught you and Ace would both have caught the translation into Draconic
Oh yeah.
of
Yeah.
what was going on.
Kay, excited to learn, asks an Infernal, "Can you guys speak Infernal too?"
I don't
I-
think anybody
Please
can
tell-
respond to you.
Nope.
I look at her. Wait. Do I recognize what language that even is in my studies?
Yeah, you would know of Infernal. You'd also know it's very demonic.
I
From the abyssal
would
plane.
respond in Draconic. Wait, no. Wait,
Ez
she-
might
wait, no,
know
she didn't
better than
say she
anything
spoke
else.
Whatever. I'll respond in Draconic. No, I don't speak Infernal. I read about it though.
Does I don't.
don't know
Kay
if she
doesn't
speaks
speak Draconic, so you just said, "Oh, yeah."
You
So,
hear right? No.
Kay looks a little defeated and then shuts the fuck up.
oh, poor Kay.
I try again in Dwarvish.
He's like, "Aw."
But
Well,
you speak Dwarvish, right?
yeah, we established that.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry,
only,
there's
I think
so
only
many
2
people
people
with so
don't
many
speak
different
Dwarvish.
languages.
The two
Okay.
up front, which are probably missing most of the conversation anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I respond again in Dwarvish to the same thing though. That like, no, I don't speak Infernal. Read about it, but it wasn't one of the languages I learned before coming here.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna say in Celestial. Does anyone speak Celestial?
I believe you are the only person.
Out of character, that was on my character sheet until I thought better of it.
Awesome. This means that I can just.
That was in my initial draft of my
Hawk shit.
character.
That's when the dwarf turns around and tells you, "Yes, I speak Celestial."
Please.
I will reply to you. All right. I will remain quiet now.
Alright, at this point, it's been, if you guys want to obviously talk some more, it's probably been 15 minutes by wagon. This is a very big city, but it finally comes to a stop. If you're looking at the map, where you see the tower, you'd be right where that, like, divot is. Like,
You have a map?
yeah, there's a map if you join the Roll20. You don't need to until,
Oh.
you know, you don't need to technically ever, and if you're a visual person, though, it'll be very helpful for you to see tokens where you are and stuff like that.
You have a little pin you can stick in a map like Carr did for where we are.
About right here, right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
pinging's good.
Alright, you were right here. This is where the Temple of Bahamut is.
So we were following that road, and we came. Okay.
Correct, and everybody who's entered the city, you all entered from the western gate, not the main gate.
Okay.
That was where I met that helpful dwarf guard.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
And now this very irritated dwarf guard looks and says, "Alright, here we are. Just enter that door right over there." And looks to Miko and says, "Thank you again. And if you are looking for a good time, the Dwarven District's where we're at, and I'll make sure my people know to treat you with the proper respect."
All right.
Everyone, please
Exactly
leave
like-
my fucking wagon.
I get out and
Okay,
I turn to him, do the palm over fist gesture as I nod my head slightly and thank him.
He just raises a hand and he's like, "Yeah."
All right, I will finally sheath my weapon, which has been laying across my lap the entire time.
Yep.
I'll just.
Oh,
slide
by
off
the way,
the
his
horse,
weapon, by
kinda
the way.
scratching behind the ears.
Aw. Roll an animal handling for me.
Okay.
Kicked in the
Ooh,
face.
that one might be. That one. Animal handling. Oh, that should be alright.
Oh,
Unless I roll garbage.
if I say something that's a 3.5 thing by instinct, please let me know. Hey, that doesn't exist.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I will tell you to roll something, and then you'll look at your character sheet and be like, "There's not like an appraise is not on here, right?"
Oh.
So if I
I'll
said
maybe-
raise and impress,
I'll probably be the
I'll
one
let
that
you
catches
know
it the fastest.
okay. Either way, just let me know, and I'll think of something else that you can roll in a 5e.
That's a 6. I rolled
A
a
6?
3.
You rolled.
Yeah. I rolled a 3.
So you went to go, kind of scratch a man on the ears, but he moved, so you poked him in the eye. He didn't like that.
Oh, yeah, and I'll just kind of pat him on the side, like, "Ooh, my bad." I'll
He
look
just kind of
around,
like,
see if somebody saw it.
he like almost, he just does that like,
Is that a horse?
and almost spits on you.
Is it
Almost.
a horse?
Yeah, the horse.
Oh.
He poked a
That
horse in
poor
the
horse.
eye.
The horse just bite him.
No, it just sneezed, like it got poked and then got rubbed, and then it went like that gruffle noise. So he got some saliva probably now on his hand,
Oh,
but no.
Is this an enclosed
whatever.
wagon or is this a open air wagon? Or are we out of the
This
wagon?
was an enclosed wagon, but
Okay.
everyone out of the wagon now?
Okay.
Yeah, I would assume
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I see him poke him in the horse in the eye, I would have
um,
gone over and comforted the horse.
All right, you can roll an animal handling, and Amika, I need you to roll a dex check.
A dex check.
You know why.
That's a 4.
All right, you
That's
fell
a
flat on your
17.
face.
17 for animal handling.
Oh,
Wait,
this
wait,
horse starts nuzzling into it, and it feels much better now.
Which character just fell flat on his face?
Amika,
Emika.
I'm trying to get down
Okay,
from the wagon.
I'd offer him a hand up.
Oh, you don't.
by
It's
the
a
time you
her,
reach-
and you don't even get the
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, by the
Oh,
time you
okay.
reach down, she's standing back up.
Like she's done one of those things where, like, if you ever seen someone fall and then pretend not to fall and just kind of like bounce back up almost instantly, like it never happened. That's what she just did.
Does Kay notice that he tried to help her?
Yes, yeah. He would still,
Okay.
of course, like hand out and gesture to, and then by the time that hand's even extended, she's
right,
just
right.
bounced.
Right.
And
Kay
then it
leans
probably
over.
stand- Okay.
Kay leans over. Is like, she does that often.
I guess. In what language?
Common.
Yeah, from now on, yeah, I know this is how you like to do Donar, so it's fine. If no one specifies a language, they're speaking common.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I'm
should do the
probably
same when you're not speaking common as well. If you want to, hey, and it's gonna be really annoying. I'm speaking Draconic, and then you can, speak Draconic, right? But
Yeah. No. I would. I mean, I do understand common, so I would shrug and say okay. I'm just not very.
I will let you know,
I don't
Donar,
like to
that
talk much in common.
Donar, you
But I
would be
said that.
aware of though that the most common language, like especially you approach someone new to speak, is common. Whether you choose
Oh,
to do that common
I know
etiquette,
that.
okay, great.
No, I know that.
All right.
I just prefer Draconic.
Mhm.
And I prefer languages that I've used more. Okay, so I guess when you hear Donar speaking common, it would sound like someone who's not particularly fluent in the language because he learned it only for this to come here, and so he hasn't spoken it for very long. Like he understands it, but he's not super fluent in it, so he doesn't talk much.
All right, so
Is it, like-
everyone's off the wagon, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So you hear the dwarven guy go, "Good luck, have fun," and then it just starts going away.
I speak
Uh.
Draconic directly to Donar. I'm like, what does he mean by have fun?
What is
I
this
have
word?
no idea. I
Fun.
respond in Draconic. Well, we have our
Okay.
task. Let's be about it. Again, in Draconic.
I just stare at everyone. I'm just like,
Amiko, you notice that one of your like arm, like wherever your shoulder pads are, it's getting like weirdly. You have to situate it again, just to let you know. Like it feels like it's falling off. You played football, like with shoulder pads.
Yep.
You know the feeling of with they got too loose and they were like, or you got a hard hit and they kind of slid off. That's what it
Yeah.
feels like.
Yep.
And as you adjust that to make it look, anybody who's taken a closer look can tell that this armor is not fitted to me, though. It's not a very high perception check, so I'm not going to make anybody roll. It's not like you're trying to hide this, I assume, Amiko.
No.
All right, well, you guys are standing in front of the Adventurers Guild right before the tower.
How much do I know about the Adventurers Guild?
Probably nothing.
Okay.
It's a newly formed, well, I can't say really newly formed, right? Because your session, the one-shot session was there. I would say that was its, like, you guys were in its dawning phase, though. So, what, 5 years?
Yeah, so it's like it's been around for 5 years, I guess, then.
So,
Okay.
yeah, news probably didn't reach, anybody who's not from here wouldn't know.
So,
I'm gonna lean over to Anika and be like, so what are you guys doing here?
we're about to find out.
Oh, gotcha. No, I'll just kind of slide back.
Gotcha.
Well,
All right.
let's go find out why we're. I mean, I'll turn to Kay and be like, "Let's go find out why we're here."
Do we have to go through the tower?
We're not. We haven't even got to the point of the tower yet. We're just at the Adventurers Guild,
Yep, right before the
So,
tower.
which is where we were told where we needed to go.
Right.
Is-
We're going to the Adventurers Guild, but
Yeah, I don't know
it's
anything
about
about.
talking about going into the tower.
Oh,
Is
I'm
the
not aware of that
Adventurers-
information yet. Mine is
Okay.
just simply going there to find out why I'm here.
Fair enough.
Is
Okay.
there a large group of people around us, like, other than us? Is there...
Oh, this
Several
is a
people
very busy part of the city. So the way that you guys went, so by the western gates, it's very busy. It was definitely a poorer district. You guys went through the entertainment district, and then by the time you got to the church district, things became very sparse and clean. Then that residential district was very clean, but as closer you get to the tower, it gets back to very dense.
Okay.
So there are a whole bunch of people, and a lot of them, if anybody, it's just like stopping and staring at this fucking group of people. Like,
I'm
and then
gonna-
if
Instead of sliding back, I want to step forward in front of everybody. And then very loudly call out, "Hey, anybody know why we're all here?"
at that point, that's kind of like the snapback reality to everybody who was just kind of like watching, like, oh, this is fucking weird, to then go, oh no, I'm just gonna go back to my business. I'm not getting involved, and no one says anything to you, and just turns around and starts kind of like walking.
I respond to him in Draconic, no.
I haven't even paid attention to this, and I'm already walking through the door.
All right.
Kay is following shortly behind.
I talked to Donar, and I am in Draconic going, of course we know, but why?
I said I don't know. I have no idea why this group is here. That's why I follow them into the building.
All right.
I was just shrugging everybody as they walk by me. I was just like, oh.
All right.
The hunter was the one that spoke Draconic, right?
Correct.
Yes, I do
Okay.
indeed speak Draconic.
So as soon as you enter this, it's a very open guild hall, right? It's got like these long tables. It's like chandeliers coming down. Nice carpet leading up to the front counter. The front counter is made of this like deep cherry wood, wooden floors. It's very immaculate. It's very nice. Thrown out through all these tables is different groups of people, and you'll notice that a lot of them have like similarities. Like one's wearing a lot of blue and yellows, and their adorned armor. There's a group of elves that are wearing all greens to the right. So it looks like this is where people would gather for their perspective, like if they formed a guild or adventure or stuff like that. And in the very big counter that the carpet leads up to is a singular person just sitting there with black hair, purple eyes, and she is a full-blood elf. And she looks and then sees, obviously, this group comes in and gets up. She was sitting down and starts walking towards this group of people. And then she goes, "Pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Claire."
I do the palm over fist and respond in Elvish. My name is Yajari Donar.
Pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
He speaks in...
Hey, Ajis. Nice to meet you. I kind of give him a salute.
And she does almost like a friendly, very much bow forward. Sorry, let me close my door real quick. All right. And then she goes, I know a lot of you have different questions and concerns about either why you're here or what, some of you know why you're here. But I imagine, and she looks towards both Amiko and Kay, that you guys are probably the most confused.
Yeah, you could say that. An hour ago, we were on a boat on a different continent.
Yeah. She looks and she goes, sadly, we've had what we like to call the chosen of the god Bane, where he, in all of his glory, has decided that he wants people to climb the tower. And instead of doing it like the other gods traditionally do, where they enlighten a champion and, the champion says, "I will climb the tower in the name of my god," or whatever they believe, decided to do more of trickery and say, "You are my champion," without doing anything, and then forcing people to climb. You are the third party that we've had. One chose to climb, the other, we managed to get him back to his home. So, you can, of course, join the guild, climb the tower, or we can do as much as we can to try to get you back to your continent. That would be probably very costly in terms of trying to get that to happen.
So, question. How does one become chosen by Bane when 30 minutes ago I didn't even know who that was?
Yeah, and that's the problem is, and, she kind of looks over at, Silver and Donar and sees the symbols of Bahamut and just be like, there are some people who understand what this current continent's gods are the gods that most people follow, and it's a very, let's say, close-knit relationship that we can form with our deities. Bane doesn't seem to have that closeness with any of his followers, so he likes to take people that are strong warriors, usually from different lands, and you're not, I wouldn't say a champion of Bane unless you choose to be, but he just mostly claims, it's almost like, I guess, betting on a horse race. Saying, I bet this person climbed the tower before all the other champions, and sadly you are the horse, and I don't mean to call you a horse. You are a beautiful looking one.
Okay, and what's in this for me?
Well, the tower itself, there are reasons to climb and to join the guild in general. Everyone's reasons are their own. There is riches, fame, worlds that you've never seen, understanding. There is great wealth to be made. There's glory. There is no one who's made it to the top. There's even a saying that if you make it to the top of the tower, that any wish you could ever want would be granted. Obviously, no one's reached to the top, so who's to say?
As perks up with this.
What's up?
As perks up at this.
Yep.
I want to raise the finger. What happened to those that did not make it to the top?
Well, luckily, we've had very smart people who have traversed the tower who's learned not really how it works. but ways that we configure it. So as far as we know, that every layer of the tower is its own dimension of reality, completely different than the material plane as we know it. So we have made it much safer to traverse the tower than it used to be in the past, thanks to our college academy. So basically, our deaths are used to be, I would say, about 70%, have now been reduced to 5%.
I'd, in Elvish, say I have 2 questions.
Go ahead.
First, does that mean we can leave the tower at will?
Yes. So, the only people that are allowed to climb the tower are people who either backed by a prospector or form their own guild. You can climb this way, and in doing so, when you are able to climb, we give you a device that you can wear, and this device is tethered to our material plane. So if you get to the point where you feel you are in danger, you can press the trigger on this device, and you will be teleported to the base. And as soon as she says that, behind the guild hall, you can hear a loud commotion. And on what looks to be like some sort of stretcher, there's somebody who's walked out, who's now missing an arm, and they're trying to get him out of the tower, or like out the door.
Did she
I
respond
make a note.
to
Well, sorry, Mark.
Like he asked in Dwarvish or Elvish, but did she respond in Elvish?
No, she's only responding in common.
That's fine. I understand it. I just don't want to speak it if I can avoid it. Then I'll ask second, are there any friendly settlements, perhaps outposts that the Adventure Guild have set up in the tower in an effort to support people climbing it?
No, we have our own residential district, so a lot of times either the adventurers, if they band together and form their own money and pool, they can build their own guild halls with their own rooms and things like that. Or you can, our taverns have gone to the point where they almost serve as, you buy a room for however long you want to stay in Mount Spire, and you pay a reasonable fee. There is definitely different rooming accommodations for Bahamut yourself. If you chose to sleep near the church even has its own accommodations for followers of Bahamut. You would have to speak to Thomas, the clergyman, to obviously set that up. But yes, there's nothing that the only thing that this guild hall will give you is the access to climb the tower, and there is a fee that is associated with that.
And what is this fee?
This fee is, it depends. You guys can form an individual, and you can pay, you still would need someone to back you. Honestly, it wouldn't be very difficult.
So your god chose us, but we had to pay you.
Oh,
do
my
your
god, my god is not Bane. He just corrects you right there. It's like my... Oh
I'm
no.
gonna look around in confusion.
He gets offended by that. Oh my god.
I'd lean over to Ace's character and ask who this Bane is.
You would know this as the god of conquest and war.
Would I know that?
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
I
is
would-
general knowledge for everyone on this continent.
Yeah, I was
Never
gonna
mind.
say, because I was gonna actually answer that with this is the one that tests what justice actually means.
Kay asks the elven lady, and he asks, is there anyone who looks favorably on Bane here?
That's...
Sorta.
You are literally asking me to, say something in which would put me in ill favor to the gods. Let's put it that way.
I mean, it's not like we chose for Bane to like us.
Nope.
Just Curious to know who would
Sat-
choose to like Bane.
Good question.
I impose the question. I'm like, is it wrong not to like the god, but like the prospects of the consequences?
Of course not.
I just like, yes. So I appreciate Bane's existence.
Just like the Raven Goddess herself, you won't find a god, a shrine or a temple to the god of death. But if you don't respect the fact that living things die, and give thanks to that, then I don't know what to say to you.
I just finished with "Such is the way," and I like look gleeful.
Yes, such is the way.
We never answered how much it costs.
Yeah, sorry. If you individually would be backed, you still would need to be backed by somebody, but then that would be five silver per person that would like to climb for that person's behalf. The other option is you could form your own guild, if you will. And she has this almost like behind the desk is now you can see this giant wooden plaque that has adorned names that are etched on the wood, and on the very top and the biggest one is Black Cloaks and the number 10 next to it, and then underneath that and much smaller is what looks to be names of the guild. And basically you can form your own adventurers guild. That is a little bit more costly. It's usually 5 guilds, but you can literally 5 gold pieces. But that would be a group, and you guys could go in as you please, as long as you follow the guidelines that I would explain to you if you want to climb the top.
Emiko doesn't even let her finish and just digs out and throws her 5 gold.
She at that point she catches it and she's like, well, I see that you have funds. What would you like the name of your guild to be?
Kate goes up next to Emiko and he's like, "You think it's a good idea to form a group with all these strangers?"
I don't care. I was really just paying for me and you, but if they want to tag along, I don't care.
I make in common. I just kind of murmur. I'm just like, well, you have a cleric. And I look over. I'm just like, and you have my dragon friend here too. I nudge him forward.
You see, like, wisps of smoke come out of his nostrils. Shifts forward, but not particularly happily.
I'll also kind of chirp up. And if you'll have me, I'll gladly lend my soul.
I was like,
Just
hey,
kind of.
I'm just instructed to come here by my gods, so I guess.
I look you up and down as you say that. Which?
Witch? Excuse me?
I'm not a witch. I'm a furball.
How dare you?
He's a witch! Burn him!
Yeah, and so like
I'll
as,
just kind of grin and be
as
Melora.
all this is going on, Emiko's gonna think back to the wagon ride and just be like, you could call us the Dwarven Dragons.
Please do not.
Donar shrugs and says, "Okay."
Alright. And she goes, well, the Dwarven Dragons it is. And then, as soon as she says that, she turns, and on the very bottom, in almost the tiniest font, you see Dwarven Dragons, and then the number 0. And then she goes, well, since some of you are, well, pretty much all of you, I believe. And then she even looks at Ez a little bit more closely. It's like, and you specifically, I have no real information on. But imagine you're new to the city, so if you have any questions about how Monspire works, where to go for food, entertainment, lodging, what is there to do in the city, just please feel free. I'm the mayor, Perryvale's also personal secretary, so I have a lot of facilities to help in either capacity.
I need a place to stay and a place to swing my sword.
Okay, so a place to reside in. What type of place would you like? Do you not care about space? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom? Do you have a specific environment in mind in terms of a little bit more money, or do you not care?
Kay chimes in and says, probably near a sweet shop.
I ask in Dwarvish, ooh, you like good food too?
She doesn't answer because she doesn't speak Dwarvish.
Try.
Kay just says she has a sweet tooth, I think.
For me personally, the amount of space doesn't matter. 1 bedroom is fine. 1 room is fine.
Would you
Just
like...
a place to sleep.
Okay, so... And you don't care about, the area of town, then?
I mean, I don't want to stay in the slums, but
Okay.
other than that, it doesn't matter.
So, where's my map? I'm using Notion.
Zareth,
Heck
I
yeah.
have no idea how much money I have, so
You have probably very close to nothing based off of your background. I would say you have 10
Okay.
silver total if you want to write that down.
copy.
Money is
Oh.
probably not something that at this point your character has really even been introduced to. On this hunt,
Yeah.
knowing that you've been to Monspaya, you were given probably at least whatever they've collected up to that point, which is probably 10 silver. People do not go out to the woods and make a lot of offerings.
Question. My background and everything, it just auto-generated with 10 gold pieces. Is that cool?
10 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just took that away and just went with 10 silver.
Yeah. All right. So on this map, she goes the very nice. She presents the map. Let's put it this way: she digs in to her pocket and then outperforms, almost like in her hand is a scrolled map that everyone in Roll20 can see. And she goes, "This is probably the nice settlement over the Lion's Den Inn. They have a couple of rooms. This would run you, I would say, 1 gold per night. This is in a decent part of town. This is just a room from another inn. This would run you 50 silver a night. In this, I wouldn't use the word slums, but this would be 10 silver per night.
10 silver or 1 silver.
Oh, 1 silver, sorry.
Yeah.
I lean to Ace's character and quote unquote whisper in Draconic. I'm assuming we're going to stay in the temple.
Sure. I'm just like, if I have a cot, I'm happy.
And she,
Works for me.
Claire goes, and she goes, and you mentioned that you want a space to swing your sword. Are you looking possibly for instead of maybe a room, a house for rent that would give you kind of that space that you would need?
Possibly. How much are we talking here?
Well, there's a house to rent to buy if you're interested in that, and that is located by the main gate somewhere here. It's about 1,400 square feet. It's 2 bedrooms and would be a room for you to train in. Definitely have a there. So I believe the asking rate for them is 75 silver per night. But like I said, it's much more spacey, and it's right by the commercial district as well. So you'd be able to, even open up a small business shop, and whatever you would want to do if that was something that would pique your interest later down the road.
Alright, and you mentioned rent to own. How long is the...
That I don't have offhand. I believe that it would be 70 cents, 75 silver, per night until I want to say 75 gold has been, reached. But we would have to speak to the, owner of the building.
Alright. Let's put that on hold for now. And I will just go grab a room for a few nights and make a decision on that later.
Okay. And at this point, she hands you that map, so you have access, and she will have highlighted the different areas where they go to help you kind of find yourself around the city. She has multiple of these maps. She will hand it to everybody.
Okay.
So this way you guys can kind of fumble away around town so you know what to do or where to go.
Alright, I will, before we go, do ask her if there is any, like, since I'm not doing the house, if there are any, like, places around town that people go to do training.
The barracks by the western gate has a training field that they would allow anybody to use. There are, if you were to join either another's guild or be a subsidiary of their guild, you could use their guild hall. A lot of guild halls will have their own equipment.
Alright. Alright, well, thank her. And then I will make my way to the middle or the medium quality inn.
Okay.
I guess Kay will follow her out the door. Be like, can I see the map real quick? And then
She
find the
handed you your
cheapest
own, by
tavern.
the way.
Oh, okay, cool. Then he's gonna be like, I'm just gonna go to the cheaper tavern. So call me if you need me.
I would-
Okay.
I'd follow the tiefling because she's really the only one I've had any conversation with.
All right.
And we were
Yeah.
talking about food, and I'm gonna try to convince her about the glory of hot sauces.
The tiefling guy, by the way.
You what?
Tiefling's a dude.
Tiefling guy.
Oh, wait.
Humans. The humans a
No,
woman.
no.
I have them
Tiefling-
backwards. Sorry, there are a lot of characters here.
Yeah, I think I'm playing the only female character.
Yes.
Okay, so you're playing the tiefling.
I'm
No.
playing the
Wait.
tiefling.
I'm a human female.
Okay, wait. Wait.
Look
Human.
in the Discord.
Yeah.
Look at his picture.
Okay, yeah. Then okay, but it is the tiefling that I was talking to.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
in Dwarvish, yes.
But the male
Yes,
tiefling.
and I would follow the tiefling. So it's the male tiefling, doesn't matter. Still following the tiefling. Out,
Alright,
and
cool.
asking if the tiefling wanted to grab a bite to eat.
Kay will accept that, and he's very happy that you are very cordial and nice to him. He's
You
making
just notice
friends.
I'm following behind Dorgon at all times at the moment.
All right. So if we're splitting, where's everyone going? So I can kind of chop this all up.
We'll follow the Bahamut people.
Wait. We're having a detour now to go get food because someone is happily doing this, and you're following us as I'm literally following behind them. Oh god, this is the blind following the blind.
Oh, the person. I would explain in Draconic to him, since I recall he speaks Draconic but not Dwarvish, that where we're going and why.
All right. Where is Biggledune going? We'll never know. Biggledune, no.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just following the group. Sorry.
It looks like they're splitting. Oh well, really, it's just Miko that's currently splitting.
I'm gonna be
Look-
following Nico because that's the one that she's the one that was in my visions.
All right. Okay.
She's too rich for the rest of us.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry, Hunter. I didn't notice that direct message from before, so I can't
Yeah.
answer. But yeah, if you have any of that, I'm paying a lot more attention to that. I'm getting my bearings now.
Good. All of the questions were answered. So.
Good. All right. So Amiko, whoever is, well, it'd be you, right? Make a survival with advantage for me.
What advantage?
Yeah, you have a map.
Oh, because I have a map. Right.
Disadvantage is an old map.
A dirty 20.
Oh, good. All right. Yeah, you'll have no problems finding it. We're gonna split off real quick so I can get my dice rolling out of the way to make sure if anybody gets lost. Either Kay or Donar, whoever is leading, or you can roll with advantage for me to see if you can find this lower cost inn.
Kay can.
All
Was
right.
it
Survival with advantage.
survival? That fell off the table. I rolled the same number twice.
Donar's not even trying to navigate, as he habitually is
14.
relying on silver.
Okay, you're fine. You had to stop a couple of times to just kind of grab your bearings, but you still get there, no problem. You do notice, though, that clearly with you staring down at your map, that a lot of people have kind of been, like, as they walk by you, maybe even looking to see, case you out, if you will, for lack of a better term. But choose against it. And then, you don't get anyone that has moved too close to you. And
Thank goodness.
you arrive at it's almost like a broken sign that says Maelstrom Inn Tavern.
Doesn't sound a very calming stay. Doesn't sound very relaxing to sleep here. Kay looks at everybody behind him and is just like, all right, I think this is it. And pushes the door open.
As soon as you do, that dwarf from earlier is sitting down in the corner getting drunk. And this is a very busy inn. You see a wide range of different people: elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings. And behind the counter is a heavyset dwarven lady with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Kay goes straight to the lady, puts on a charming smile, and asks, "Are there any rooms available at this established inn?"
Ugrit laughs a little bit and says, "Aye, there's rooms available. It'd be 1 silver a night. How many rooms would you need?"
I will have 1 room. And then he slides a silver.
And she passes you, looks almost like a rusted key. And says, "Here, let me show you to your quarters."
Okay.
I was kind of pipe up a finger and kind of cough. And,
you're not
yeah.
with them. You're about to go to the fancier inn.
Oh, I thought she was.
No.
Oh, I'm getting where everybody went confused.
Yeah, you're only with
Yeah.
Amiko, and Amiko's
It's just these
cars.
two.
Yep.
Copy.
So she leads you up the stairs that start creaking, and then as soon as you get to the second floor, you book the first room to the left, and then she opens that door. It looks like the key would be mostly from locking on the other side, not really preventing, like her from just opening it. Take that for what you will.
Okay.
I'm still following the tiefling, right?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, if you want.
so I look at that a bit dubiously, and I lean over and again, quote unquote, whisper in Dwarvish, "I could see if they'll let you stay in the temple if you want."
Kay laughs nervously and is just like, I might take you up on that offer.
Now I assure you, this is the safest place in, in the South District.
Kay is all smiles and he says, I don't doubt it.
If anybody tried to cause trouble here, they would meet with my battle hammer. And upon entering, it's a small room. It's about like 400 by 400. Like, it's pretty small.
Is it?
But
big as
there's
the
room for there's room for a cot. You have like room for, and there's a broken down dresser there that you throw in like clothes and stuff like that.
Nice. How much smaller is it than like my little house back home?
It's probably half that.
Oh, okay.
So it's not for you. This is probably just enough space. Like, this would not be something that you're not accustomed to. For Donar, if he were to go in and see this space, this for you would be like a sardine can.
Yeah, you're like I'm pretty like.
You're
well, I
used
don't
to
know how well
open
you can read
spaces
draconic
and
expressions.
yeah. So.
But I mean, my eyes narrow as again trails of smoke coming out of my nostrils.
At this point, she goes, I'll leave you be to, settle in. Give it a shot. If you have any complaints, my name is Ugert. You can call for me at any time, and I will do whatever I can to make your stay here as comfortable as possible.
Ugert.
Ugert!
Out of curiosity, how many people followed Kay to his room?
I think just
He's
Donar.
like, I want one room. Okay.
And no one else said they were following, so I assume that they're not.
Well, I was following him until we could grab food. So, I mean, splitting up seemed pointless. Cell phones don't exist in this world, I assume.
No, they
Right.
don't. Which is why I'm gonna find it hilarious of how you're going to meet her again.
Echolocation.
Would assume
You guys
Cell
are gonna stand
also
out, but it's a
following,
big
but-
fucking city.
I'm still at the doorway of this inn. I'm
Oh,
just
so you
saying.
stay on the bottom floor, content that you're close enough. You don't need to follow me any further.
It's more the case of crowded inner space, not my biggest fan of things.
Wait, is
Okay.
this place small enough that I'm having to duck to walk around?
No, it's made for other. You can tell this inn is taken for people of various different sizes. So it's weird. In a stool, you'll see the tiniest stool that looks like it might be a thumbtack. But you'd also see like giants. Like, there is a giant also at the end. Like,
Okay.
it's definitely a wide variety of different people. You are not the biggest. You are one of the biggest, but not the biggest.
All right. Well, on the prospect of food, Kay looks at his room, literally keeps all his stuff with him, which is not a lot, and I guess goes back downstairs because he's still set on that.
So, did you place your stuff down?
No.
Oh, so
He doesn't have
you
a lot
kept
of
it?
stuff.
Okay. You
Oh yeah.
everything
But he
in your bag
doesn't
you've kept?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
not a big bag. He didn't have a lot.
It's probably smart.
Yeah, the whole key situation wasn't ideal.
But so we're back down in the actual eating area, right?
Right.
I guess we should try to go be friendly with the guard that was with us earlier, since he's there too, right?
Yep.
We should invite him
Yeah.
to eat with us and drink with us. So yeah, I'd go approach him and ask if he wanted to join our group for a meal.
At this point, he's just like kind of sliding back and forth, be like, "I'm full. I didn't think I would even see you guys again so soon. Curse my luck." He laughs when he says that. You can tell he's just having a good time. But I will
It's
say,
unspoken, but oh, sorry, go ahead.
you know, he interrupts you, like literally, like, you know, if you were going. I will say, you need to try the dumplings.
I'll do that. Or wait, no. So it will be different tense if so it is, but yeah, I'd say that. Give the fist and palm gesture and head back to my group.
Yeah, he waits. Yeah, raises his hand.
Is it just 2 of us inside the tavern?
Yeah,
Silver's there, and I thought someone else, but I could be wrong.
as followed as well. I don't think any of them ever entered though.
What are they, vampires?
Yeah, maybe they have to be asked. I don't know.
Kay's just-
Wait. So Silver's not inside, right?
Yeah, he said he was waiting outside, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm at the door.
Yeah.
Well, are you in sight though? Like, do I see you?
I mean, probably not. I don't like the door is open. I thought it was inside, and I
The
waited.
door
and you
doesn't
just
stay
kinda-
open, so like the door is closed unless you're
Yeah.
holding the door open.
Yeah, I'm not through the door. Like the door opened, I saw it was inside. You guys went in, and I was just like,
No, dog.
I stayed
I'll
up.
stay here.
If that's the case, probably Kay would go back out towards the doorway and let I forget your character's name, but let him know. Like maybe he doesn't seem comfortable here. Let's go somewhere else to eat.
We could see what they have in the Temple District.
Sure.
I agree with that hesitation too.
The whole share thing.
Yeah, this is like sure.
Or hear the
You
Right,
we
northeastern
realize that
side
like
of the
you guys
city
are now
has-
like south, right? Like to go all the way up north.
From what I heard, though, the northeastern, basically anything north of here would probably be of higher quality.
You guys are outside when you say this, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you're fine.
You're fine.
Now, so despite my extremely high charisma, so
Uber
like,
would fuck
I,
you up.
I
Let me
am
just put it that
fully aware that what I was saying was rude. Less aware that I was easily overheard despite my attempt to whisper.
Yeah.
But I also don't care very much.
You might care. That battle hammer hurts.
Yeah.
Kay cares because that's where he's sleeping. So if they want to go up to the Temple District, Kay doesn't care.
I just
He'll
explained
follow.
like street vendors are fine if there's any, or we could just get something and I'll not eat inside. And just I look visibly a little bit shaken, and I explained to Kay, I'm just like, I'm a traveler, not a look around city person.
I lean in towards her and whisper, and whisper in Draconic. I mean, not Draconic, Dwarvish. I have to keep so many fucking languages straight. I whisper in Dwarvish. He's not really a people person.
Kay laughs and is like, I don't blame him. And then I guess we'll find food. Let's go find food, okay?
Yeah, I don't really have a preference.
All right.
How do you pronounce your character's name?
But for now, we're just gonna go with Ezrin.
Ezrin? Okay.
Ooh.
I'm calling Ezrin for now.
Ezrin. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna just look at Ezrin and I'm like, why did you not go inside?
I'm gonna look back. Are you saying this in a different language or?
No, I'm saying this in common.
Oh, okay.
I'm not an asshole about this.
He's not an asshole either. He just doesn't speak it very well.
You're.
Oh, I felt it rude.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to while you guys search where you want to go, I'm gonna cut over to the other group.
Can I roll for perception just to find someplace
Sure.
that's not crowded easier? For
Yeah,
time?
yep. Go ahead. You roll perception. Let me cut over, and then we can jump back to what
Okay.
you guys want to do. All right. So
Yeah.
Miko, you land in I would say a fairly decent part of town. Mostly humans, from what you can tell. Some elves. On your way walking in, and you land in a nice sign that's called the Boar's Head Inn.
All right.
I imagine you just walk in.
Yeah, but I do if what is it? Big old Dune
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Yeah,
following.
Pickle Dude.
Yeah, if he's following me, I'll at least talk to him on the way there.
All right, go.
I'll just be like, I guess I never really introduced myself. I'm Emiko. You can call me Emmy if you want.
Hi, Amy. And I'm kind of like smooth back my hair with one hand. Like, I'm Biggle. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. It's like, so you're, you said you were a cleric or something?
No, actually, I'm kind of let's go with a self-taught monk. I'm a thief catcher by trade.
Interesting. And so, you're trying to catch another one now? How many have you caught before?
A few, here and there.
Do you want
don't
an
put it-
answer?
Yeah,
you
sure.
want an answer? How many you caught up to this point?
Yep, give me an answer.
10.
None.
I rolled a 12-sided die. You got 10.
10. Okay. Yeah. I've got a few under my belt. Some 10, half dozen, somewhere.
80.
Yeah, 80.
She kind of looks him over. Does he have any weapons on him?
You got to answer that, Biggle.
Just, I do have a staff that's kind of strapped to my back. Other than that, you don't see any weapons.
Alright. She's just like, impressive. How do you go about catching these people?
Mostly I meditate, and Melora kind of points me in the right direction, and I just kind of go from there and chase them through rooftops and the like, and just kind of.
I'm waiting for
eventually
him
I
to be
catch 'em.
like, and then I punch them with my fists.
Yep, and then I punch them with my fists until they fall down.
And can't get back up.
Well, that's quite something. I can't say
Yeah.
I have that many experiences.
One does what one can.
I will say, Bilgeldune, if you're looking at her choice of weapon, you've never seen a longsword curved like that. Like, it's not a scimitar, but it's curved almost like it would be a scimitar, but too tiny. It's a katana, obviously, we all know, but for everyone here, that would not be a weapon you've ever seen before.
See, I thought you were gonna describe one of the Chinese swords. I'm like, oh, it's one of those.
Oh, the
You're like,
Chinese
"Oh,
broadswords would be awesome. Huh?
A Daijo?
Is it in a sheath?
Yes, it's
It
in a
is.
sheath. Oh, I guess, yeah, Emmy likes to take it out, though, so you never know.
Yeah, if you do mention it, she will draw it, but
Alright.
currently, as you're walking, it's a sheath.
Guys, that seems like an impressive weapon.
Yeah, as you do say that, she will just like, it's like a flash, and it's out, and you don't even really see her draw it. But yeah, she's
Ah.
like, and I done forgot the name of it. I have it wrote down somewhere. It does have a name. She'll mention to you what the name of it is, which translates into claw. And she'll show you that the handle of it is made out of what appears to be like a clear resin, but inside of it you can see like a shard of a dragon claw.
Oh, okay. Now, Zarep, did we discuss she has the Bahamut tattoo or branding? Or I saw that in my vision.
Hello.
Dun dun dun.
We will never know.
You killed him.
Someone killed the DM.
Oh no.
Runtime error. Oh no.
We need more cat pictures to bring him back.
He,
Sorry. I had to take care of something. I ran and grabbed the beer. What did I
Here.
miss?
Here, you be okay now. There's a cat.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
I
No.
was asking if I had seen the Bahamut marking on her in my vision, or just saw.
No, you saw a symbol of Bahamut, and then you saw her.
Okay, okay.
You
okay.
could even go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me. Or technically wisdom, whatever you have higher. Wisdom's just implying intelligence, right?
Right. That would be a 14.
Okay, you have enough to that you, now that you've seen the dragon kin with and the shield that that Silver was holding with Bahamut's symbol, that it could just lead you to believe that maybe this was just an indication of be with this group, and you will find your thief.
Okay, okay. That's what I was wondering.
I will say, after all of your thief catching through meditations, this is the most vaguest one you've ever had. In the past, you've seen, like, almost exact, like, hey, this is the person. Here's, like, the one who did it. Here's them stealing the item. This is the item that's stolen. For whatever reason, it's almost fuzzy, and you don't know if the connection is on your end in terms of trying to reach that inner peace, or if it's on Melora's end. So that's why, of course, why you were so confused when you're like, you don't have the item or you know nothing about it. Normally, I'm just attacking these people.
Right. It's a little bigger than normal.
Yes, and this is probably the biggest item that's ever been stolen from your temple, so people are probably flipping out about it.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's pretty much my story. I'm just a simple thief catcher that seems to have gotten into something much bigger.
Interesting. Well, I'm about 10,000 miles away from home.
Yeah, you actually hit the nail on the head, by the way. You are 10,000 miles away from home. And it's not an exaggeration.
She has no idea. She just says that.
I'm just letting you know as a DM. Like, damn, that's exactly the number I gave.
And I'm from this continent.
Yes,
correct?
you are. Everybody else, with the exception of, well, yes, you are.
Yeah, like I'm not super far away from home. Like, I travel
No,
here on-
your forest is right outside the desert. The desert is big, right? That's why it was a couple of days to get here. But no, in terms of like the whole continent itself, you know of Mont Spire. You've never been there, but you've heard of the city that you're in, and you know everything really about it, like its shady nature and that people are weird. They seem to
Right,
congregate in this area. All right, so you guys have made it to the inn. The boars head in.
Okay, I'm pointing at you for that one.
How dare you? Why are you pointing at me for that one?
Mm-hmm. No.
Because
no.
you're the DM and you're making decisions. He's just acknowledging it.
Do they have good cold cut
I
sandwiches?
could have
Like, I don't
done.
know
I
where
could have
we're
done.
going.
I could have done the Goldshire inn.
But they have food. They have food. Oh wait, who is this? That's still them, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So the Boar's Head Inn, as soon as you walk in, it's nice wooden floors. Just a couple of humans sitting across there. It's not too busy. And across the bar is a human female. She has red hair and green eyes. And fairly tall. She's like 6 feet.
Yeah, I just walk straight up to her and be like, "Can I get a room?"
Sure. It's I almost wrote. Is it 50 silver pieces? 5.
Yeah. You're probably doing an old calculation.
I am.
It's 10 silver per gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. So 5
Come on.
silver pieces.
I'll pull out my bag and shake it and kind of look inside and pull 5 silver out and kind of slide it over and like, oh, yeah, I'll take one too.
Yeah. All right.
I don't have any silver on me. It's all gold, so I'll just give her 1 gold and be like, I guess I'll take 2 nights.
All right. She'll nod and she gives you. I know you didn't see the other key that was handed. But this one's it's not rusted. It's silver in color. Not it's iron, right? But it's it's nice. And then she goes, "Follow me. I'll lead you both to your rooms." She collects your and she goes up to the 2nd floor above the inn. And then she goes further back down the hallway. So you pass probably 8 total doors before you get to yours. And then you guys have one on the left and one on the right. One is 110, the other one's 109. I'm gonna mark that down so I know. 110 is Amiko, 109 is Biggledoon. So at this, she goes, she just kind of points and says, "Hey, this is your room." And she gave you the keys. So she can't open the room for you, unlike the other establishment.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "My name is Delida. If you need anything from me, please let me know. We stop serving food around 8 p.m. And if you need assistance or whatever else is around town, please let me know. I'd be happy to assist you."
What time is it now?
It's about 2 o'clock now.
All right.
Is there a place for me to wash up, like wash my hair, that kind of thing?
You asked Delida that out loud?
Yes.
Delida says, in your room is its own independent bath, if you will. And when I say bath, I don't want you to think of human bath like plumbing. More like it would be includes a space with some sort of drainage scenario, right? But it's mostly like a barrel.
But no, like hot water or anything like that?
If you wanted a hot water, there is underneath that almost barrel is a wood that you would be able to light on fire for a heated bath.
Alright.
Can't wait for you guys to see what the other end's like. Let me tell you, they've got plumbing.
I'm just gonna open my door and throw my bag in. Not even really look around.
Okay.
And close it and turn back to Biggledoon and be like, "I haven't done any proper training in like 2 weeks. I'm off to the barracks." She doesn't like straight ask if you want to go, but
That's her saying, "Hey, this is where I'm going. I'm leaving now."
You can come if you want to. If not, I don't care.
Oh, that's kind of sweet in an indirect way.
Yeah, that I would say everything I know about Amiko is exactly what her character is. She's very straightforward, direct, and say, "Hey, you can do this if you want," but she's never going to ask you. So Biggledoon's on you, homie. What you gonna do? You gonna go inside your room, actually look around, so I can tell you what's in it? Or are you going to just follow Miko to the barracks and then just drop your stuff down? Maybe mixture of both. We'll never know. More cat gifts, please.
Yeah, my
Okay,
internet
time for
dropped
more
out.
Oh, all right. So if your internet drops here, let me close my door. After explaining the barrel bathing scenario to you, where she asks if you want a heated bath, you would have to light your own fire underneath. First off, that is a great gift.
Right, I caught that.
Alright,
That's
cool.
what I want to do as soon as
And-
I can.
All right, and then Amiko had told you, as soon as while she's explaining this to you, Amiko just kind of opens her door, throws her bag, and then looks at you. And she didn't even look inside the room. She just kind of did that and then closed the door and said, well, I haven't trained in 2 weeks. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Almost like insinuating, this is what I'm doing. You can come if you want. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'll look over at her and I'll give her a smile and kind of throw my hair back and be like, yeah, I could do with a little rough and tumble before a bath.
I think that means something else in this world. On my continent, Amiko says, that means sex.
She just kind of
Just
laughed,
so
I
you're
think.
aware, my character is extremely cocky and he thinks he's extremely charismatic and he's not. But he thinks he is. So
It's
I think
great.
my character is a long
Ace, by the way. That poor ferret.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, yeah, so, yeah. I'm gonna head off towards the barracks.
Alright, sweet. We will then fast forward. What did you roll for your perception to find out
15.
around time? 15? Alright. Were you looking for any specific type of food? Because with a
Well,
15, you will have
not
noticed
type
a
of-
couple of different options.
I was not looking for a specific type of food. I was looking for either a street vendor or a less crowded and or
Sweet.
place.
So yeah, if you're just looking for something that's out in the open instead of just like inside with a whole bunch of people, you will see that about, I would say, not even 2 minutes north from where you were is almost like a street stall style vendor. Like every stall has a person behind it that is currently cooking food out in the open air. It's food that strangely doesn't really, like, it all smells good, but stuff that probably doesn't mix. Like, the dwarven spices are, like, really strong, and it's, you know, it's overpowering to a good smell, but it smells like it would be good. Then there's an elven person right next to it with very, fragranted smells, almost like herbal, a lot more like rosemary type stuff. And then you see another human stall around it, and they seem to be cooking with a whole bunch of peppers and spices and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
so
definitely go
there's-
for the human style personally.
Yeah, I figured. That's why I threw it in there for you. There's let's say 4 vendors. There's another human vendor, and looks like theirs are just mostly like soup, like in the smooth. Compared to the other 3 vendors, you can't even really smell what they're, because it's so mild in comparison to the other 3 different type of fragrances that kind of hit all at once.
Fair enough.
I mean, if we go to the mild one, we could add our own spices that we brought.
I still go to the human one.
Yep.
With
So the human with the they're cooking with like
Yes.
the peppers and the stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. What's Donar, Ez, and Kay doing?
Ez is once again going to follow the
Silver.
Bahamut people
Yeah.
and possibly try this food.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, I'd go with silver as well.
Okay. So, Kay, what's Kay doing?
Does Kay recognize any of this food?
This would all be very strange food for Kay in terms of stuff that she is used to in terms of cuisine. The closest food that you would be the soup vendor next to the stall that they're at.
Kay, for the sake of adventure, is gonna follow everybody else because
All right, awesome.
it doesn't. It's all new to him and new experiences and whatnot.
So
Making friends.
At this point, the human, now that you're closer, you can see he's got like this black hair, brown eyes, a little short. He definitely has to look up at, I think, almost everybody here, right? You're all over like at least around 6 feet, right?
I am way more than around 6
I know
feet.
you.
I'm 7 feet,
Donar.
2 inches.
I wasn't asking about Donar. I meant the others.
I'm under.
Kay is 5'11".
Okay,
As is
6 foot. All right. And what's Silver at?
5'6".
Okay, so this person's actually your height.
Hey.
So he looks. It's like, oh, what can I get you? He's currently he has a skillet. He's making like smells like it could be lamb. And he's got just with what we'd probably perceive as like just like cayenne peppers and stuff like that on there. It's like you get a meat and a spice level depending on what you want, and a carb. And maybe not carb doesn't exist in this world. So let's say something more like in a bread style. You can get pasta or potatoes, whatever you want.
He says pasta. I'm just like, I want pasta, and I point it in the directions if he has like the peppers visible.
Oh yeah, he would have a scale of being like, you know how they ask you nowadays, like, what do you want, a 1 to 6?
Yeah. I just point whatever I think is the max. I'm just like, make it good.
All right, spicy. Just to let you know, I'm a master of this craft.
It's not. I'm like,
All right.
Assume that, like, after having hung out with my tribe for so long, that he would have, if he didn't have it before, developed at least a pretty hefty spice tolerance.
Definitely. The spices, though, that he's cooking with is not something you guys have seen before. Just to give you a heads up. Like, if you're smelling it to see, it stings your nose.
Oh, because my character has like resistance to fire, does that mean he's resistant to spicy foods?
No. Those are two different type of resistances.
No,
This is
but
not
I-
made of fire.
I don't know. Some spices surely are.
the worst case scenario, there's a soup vendor right next door. So I mean, like, worst case scenario, we just eat soup after
Yeah.
burn.
You have figured out the
It works
reason why
out.
the soup vendor has chosen his location. Congratulations, take inspiration. I'm not
Oh
kidding.
my god.
You're not.
Good soup inspiration.
Soup spur.
I'll take it. Like, that's great. Like,
This is a
Wait,
tag
did you
team.
say soup-spiration?
there's a
Yep.
reason why I had. It's just my character is wise. Sees soup, sees spicy thing. If it sucks, I'll eat soup.
Yep. So he starts reaching in. He gets the noodles. What kind of meat you want? And from there you can see he's got a wide different range of either poultry like chicken, lamb, beef. All right. At this point, he goes, "I like you," and turns around and he reaches down, and you don't even see where it reached into. Ladles up some just looks like a morgasbord of different meats, like almost like. What are we still doing with the cats? Anyway, and he goes, "And the spiciest, right?"
Yes.
All right, so then at that point, he looks over and what he was currently making, he adds 2 other different vials of liquid to it, and what you smelled before was already kind of hurting your nose. This, like, in the back of your throat, like you feel it just from smelling it.
Reminds me of pain.
Yeah, and then he gives that to you in a bowl and be like, "All right, food here. It's just 1 copper piece. And then he slides you a bowl. I mean, you can pay when you're done. You need anything to drink. We got ale, we got wine, we got, just water."
I smell it and it's already hurting. I'm just like, I'll take an ale.
All right, he reaches and gets a flagon and puts it out in front of you, and then fills it up with ale. Which is what I'm drinking right now.
You know, I forgot to grab a drink. Oh well. so I
Remember
don't
for
even,
next week.
Exactly. I actually have a really cool lemonade sour actually in the
Ooh,
fridge.
that sounds good.
Anyway,
Okay.
I test to see if it's too hot, and if it's not, I'll take a full bite.
So breathing.
Sure.
Yeah, awesome. Breathing wise, you can, you can see that it's good temperature. It's not going to be too hot. It's not going to burn your mouth. He seems to have gotten this just right. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw for me. And meanwhile, he looks to everybody else and is like, "Oh, and what can I get everybody else?" Would you roll?
He smiles
11.
and he's like, I want one of whatever he gets.
All right, the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. He
One copper, right?
You're used to spicy food, though, right? So I'll let you roll advantage.
Nice.
And anybody who's like kind of the background is used to spicy food. Being the for Donar's tribe, if you have a reason where you'd be like, "Yo, a spice like this, we want it," you can roll again with it, or you can roll with advantage.
Constitution?
Yeah, and after you do it, he will set up everybody that. Oh, what do you want to drink?
Probably wine.
Oh shit.
Shit.
You like a red or I also have a white.
Red.
All right, reaches in there, and for you, I get to do a different type of description. This is a red, very similar to what we would have in Portugal.
A port?
Yes.
Okay.
And puts you that in he doesn't have a wine glass, so you also get a flagon.
That's all good.
I already drank half
rolled
my flagon.
Oh,
I rolled a...
What'd you roll? For con?
16, so it's 21 in total.
Okay. And what did you roll with advantage, Ace?
With advantage? Oh, I forgot to do the second roll, so hold on.
Yep.
16.
All right, 16. All right, and so with a 21, this food's, you feel the heat. It feels good. It's not overpowering. You don't feel like you need, the wine is a great balance, so it's an excellent choice for Kay. It complements the spice really well. For Ace, you get like those slight little hiccups, where you're you're sniffling a little bit. But you're all right. Like you're still holding. You can still taste the herbs. The meat that he chose was almost like a smorgasbord of different meats that you've never had to try together. Like it had some poultry, it had some, some goat and some lamb, and you wouldn't think that this would work, but it does work really well. You guys make your own spices, right? Like that's something that you do. You and Donar.
Yeah. Well,
right.
yeah. That's something.
I want you to roll also an intelligence check for me, Ace or Silver.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I like you.
5.
Okay. You can't discern how he got it, what spices he used, or the flavor profile to get there.
I'm guessing. Okay, I guess another question is: have I ever had these spices before?
No,
you answering. Okay.
Completely foreign to you now. And I was this reason why I wanted you to roll to see if you could be like, oh, there's something here that But yeah, nope, don't know. So he looks now to Dorner and Ez. Oh, what can I get you guys?
My tribe, we like spicy food, so I'd like to see something new, and I'd give him a brief description of some of the stuff that I'm familiar with, and ask him to surprise me.
All right. Well, I haven't seen or heard any of that, but here, let me do it. And he, if you like it spicy, I'll do the same mixture I did for them.
Works for me.
What kind of bread do you want? Like pasta bread or I'm just gonna use the word carb. Forget it. What kind of
Give
carb do
me-
you want?
A roll of ciabatta bread, if he's got it.
He does not have ciabatta. I'm sorry. He does have bread though.
Just generic bread.
Yeah,
That's-
just
that's
generic bread. You are not in.
No
You're
baguette?
still in the poor section of town, my friend.
I will just take bread. I will take 1 unit of bread.
Okay.
Bread
One
me,
unit
please.
of bread,
He's gonna put.
please.
He's gonna put this in the bread bowl for you.
Bread bowl's some good shit.
What kind of meat do you want?
Make it interesting.
All right, he'll get the same smorgasbord you got there. So the difference being, you have yours almost in a bread bowl. What do you want to drink?
What do you recommend?
Well, it depends. If you want to get fucked up, I have some of the strongest dwarven ale you can get around here. If
Wait.
Hmm?
What language is this conversation
Common.
happening in? Ah, damn it! I'm being too verbal for common.
this
Well-
man only speaks common, so you
That's
don't have a choice.
unfortunate. I mean, okay, I do this, but it takes me a bit longer than a fluent
To explain.
speaker would
All
have,
right, that's
yeah.
fine.
And I would say just whatever you recommend, basically.
Okay. Well, if you want to get drunk, dwarven ale's great.
Works for me.
All right, gives you dwarven ale. So you almost got the same thing. So roll a con check with obviously advantage for you.
Is it a saving throw
Yes, saving.
like
throw.
you did? Okay, with advantage.
Yes, with advantage if you're used to spicy
Oh, I
foods.
just
I'll let your
clicked
character
twice.
be used to spicy food or not. I really want someone not
first
used
one
to
was
it.
a 19, so that's my
Well,
higher
you're
of the
that
2
good.
rolls.
Not you.
So I got a 19 on my
Okay.
Constitution.
The same thing. If you want to try to like capture some sort of flavor profile, it's almost the same experience that that I already explained to Silver's character. You can also go ahead and roll intelligence to see if you can mix out something from this dish.
Okay, so that's raw intelligence.
Yes.
Okay, I'll 7.
Nope. Tastes good though. All right. Looks to as this character. And what can I get you?
Something medium spice, Venice if you have it, and I'll take wine and pasta.
All right. So he fixes up that plate. Hands it to you. Go for medium. Just go ahead and do me a con saving throw anyway. This one DC is a lot easier.
Yeah, I assumed as much. As is not a spice guy.
Okay.
That's a 19.
Oh, this taste, this venison, you've had better venison. You've had much better venison. But the spices complement it in a way that makes it, I want to use the word tolerable, but it's for this section of city, if you've been paying attention, you're surprised the food's as good as it is. For at least you and your palate.
Mm-hmm.
I need everyone at this stand to roll a perception test check for me.
That was a 25.
Okay.
15.
Okay. 15. All right. What about K?
Mine was 5.
5.
I don't know if you're looking
Okay.
at the log and the
Nah.
D&D Beyond. That's where I'm rolling.
Okay. Good. I will look there. What did K roll?
12.
12. All right. So everyone, with the exception of Donar, even though it's a very busy street, you see the red adorned Amiko walking down the street past your stall. Or it looks like she's coming towards your stall. Amiko and Biggledoon, you guys can also roll perception to see if you guys notice them, because this is a very busy street.
Natural 20.
Yep, you see them.
Yeah, I'm just kind of swing by on the way as I'm going down. It's like, going to do some training. It's like, and then just keep walking.
Does Kay notices, right? He's really
Yeah.
immersed in his
The only
right
person
now.
that hasn't noticed is Donar. You're
Oh.
really trying to like savor this flavor, Donar,
Yeah.
that you don't even
I
notice
would've
until
walked-
Amiko walks up to you guys and says, "Hey, I'm going to go training," and then that even Donar is like, "Okay, I heard that. Someone's announcing that to me."
I'm actually asking me, like, training for what?
I just pat my sword as I continue to just kind of walk. I don't even really stop.
Actually, I
Kay-
start getting up. I pat Donar on the back. I'm like, "You got this, right?" And I just start chasing after.
Kay is gonna, I guess, follow after he finished his good soup.
Well, I would imagine it would take longer to finish the soup than it would take them to walk away, right? So, like, if they didn't say where they're going,
No, he just told you, "Hey, I'm going to go train."
as Silver's
she.
running off, what?
Yeah, sorry, I said he, she. Emiko is a
Silver.
she. Yeah, but Emiko
Silver.
is a she. I said she.
Oh,
Or
Oh,
he.
you were
Hi.
I was
thought you were
referring
referring to me.
Yeah, that would have made more sense saying I said he, but...
as Silver goes to run off, Donar calls out to meet at the temple tonight if we don't regroup before then.
Yeah.
At this point,
In
the
Draconic.
human behind the stall is like, you guys like my food, money? As people just leave without paying?
I thought we paid already.
No.
If you guys paid up front, that's fine.
Donar.
Oh,
Donar
yeah,
is
paying
the
up
one
okay,
front
it
covering
did.
makes
I already
sense.
deducted.
Okay, that's fine.
Donar is the one covering for me now.
Oh, Donar?
Yeah.
Hey, what about,
What was it again?
it's one copper piece. Hey, what about, Ez? I'll give you guys a chance to dine and dash if you really want.
Ez seeing me, they said they're going to go train. Ez is going to follow as well.
Okay. Did you pay the copper piece up front? Because he didn't
Yeah,
say
I'll pay
you
the
need to.
copper piece, I'll pay the copper piece, finish off my. I mean, this is basically a stew at this point.
Yep.
Finish it off and then follow.
All right. So Donar, what are you doing? You do the same?
Well, if everyone's going, sure.
Okay. And as you guys are leave, you hear the human, "Come back! I'll make it even spicier." Which the thought for anybody else is, I don't think that's possible. Well, it's possible. If you guys,
Maybe.
what's up?
Ez is like, maybe next time I'll try something spicier.
Sweet. All right. So now you guys are all together.
Do I notice any, like, chocolate or anything just by walking by? I'm not actively looking for it.
Oh
but if I
no!
just-
It's funny
You
is
smell it
I
in the
would
air?
say like there is another stand that is just sweets, and it's probably about 5 or 10 stands ahead of where you told them you were going to go train.
Yeah.
This one has bags of chocolate, like already prepackaged, and
Yeah.
they're different styles.
Yeah, so as she just like walks off, she gets sidetracked and walk over there. So it does give you guys some time to finish up your stuff, and she's just like looking through overall.
And
But she'll just choose one of the bags at random.
all right, and at this point, there's an elven lady behind there who's her clothing is not too good. She's just like, they're a copper piece each, please, and
I'll have to give her a gold and ask for change because gold is all I have.
she will. Jesus, what was that? 9 silver and 9 copper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell it takes her a long time to like actually get all that to the point where everybody else is able to definitely catch up. But yeah, she gives you your, so you only have to deduct a copper piece.
All right.
And this chocolate is very unique. It's not anything like you've tasted on the eastern seaboard. The spices or not spices, but the things that are made in it are just different. Like the milk is differently produced and made than what you're used to on your it's pasteurized, if you will, for the lack of the word, right? So you're not used to this taste, but it tastes good. It doesn't taste bad. It's just different.
Yeah, and so she just like stuffs her mouth and then just continues walking.
She may not even taste it depending on how fast she was eating. But yeah, so she's able obviously to, and this is cut up almost like bark, so you're able to kind of walk and talk. So,
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a dex check, because it's been a hot sec.
5.
Alright, you don't completely fall, but you stumble. And you have to, these boots that are a little too big, you feel like you might need to reposition them, just to let you know. I'll let you decide whether you do it or not, or you keep walking. But they seem out of place.
I'll keep walking for now. I'll readjust when we get to where we're going.
Sweet. Alright, I need to roll. I've set some encounters up within the city, and I've yet to roll any of the encounters. Apparently, the game doesn't want me to do it, so what are we gonna do? Alright. So, at this point, you guys are now in the Marketplace Crafter's Terrace. So anybody who is actually looking around or wants to look around, you can roll a perception check for me. Anybody who does not give a crap and just wants to get to their destination, you feel free to just be like, I'm just looking at the street, or I'm trying to make sure I don't get mugged, shit like that.
Kay rolled a 7.
There
So
are
he's
two
as
things.
oblivious as always.
There are two things that Emmy will always look for, and that is chocolate and swords. And so, 19.
Wait, when did me and you not go fighting or whatever?
We're headed there now,
Okay.
but we met up with them on the way there.
Oh, my internet cut out for a second, and I was trying to switch. I don't know what's going on with my internet tonight. It's being retarded.
Happens to the
I was
best
like,
of us.
wait, what? We're in
Yeah.
the marketplace now?
Yeah, so you guys are making your way from pretty much the main gate-ish area to the western gate where the actual barracks are, which is actually back where Emiko's adventure in Mons Maya started. You're literally walking back to that main gate.
While we're walking, I want to ask her what she happens to know about Bahamut.
I literally know nothing about Bahamut. Today is the first time I've heard the name.
Luckily, though, you have
Yeah.
obviously the other two people or three people would take notice of Bahamut. The words Bahamut, obviously, it's there.
Yeah, so I'm immediately piqued, but I'm not interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll explain that where I come from, we don't really worship gods.
I nod. I'm like, oh, but do you have tenants?
I mean, we have. I suppose you can call them tenants.
Laws.
Well,
I mean,
Kay probably could not be as religious. I don't let Kay make that decision as Emiko is. Emiko is probably at least that Shintoism style religion was at least taught to her. Whether she believes in the spirits is up to her, of course. But
yeah, I wouldn't say it's not like a central god. I don't think.
no,
or
it's
that they
many
worship.
like the rock spirits, then the wind. Everything has a spirit.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
explaining this? Just
anybody
wondering
else?
because I'll probably look apprehensive if you say that everything has a spirit.
I don't know if I don't think she would probably put as much
Okay.
stock into it. Yeah, it's more.
Because I started explaining like the way of nature and whatnot. I started explaining my own belief before I actually explained the actual religion.
Yeah.
I take more stock in what I believe than things, but I try to describe like what the core belief of order is, I guess. And I'm just like, here's how things work when if you and like this is what Bahamut means to me, and I give like a warm touch on my shield, and I'm just like, such is the way, and I'm not sure if you're like digesting like everything as I try to explain like how nature is working. I kind of ramble a lot, if that makes sense, before I actually explain anything.
Yeah,
I'm
so
just like,
The symbol of Bahamut is a dragon, right?
yes.
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 Yeah, so I will
It is-
ask, it's like, is Bahamut a dragon?
I respond in Dwarvish since that's the most fluent language that I have. that
Well, if
most
you
of
respond in
understand.
Amiko, you might have. Amiko does not understand a Dwarvish, just to give you a heads up.
Right, wait, no, neither person asking questions doesn't understand Dwarvish, right?
I'm the one asking, and I don't understand Dwarvish,
Biggleton
Oh, you
also
don't.
doesn't understand Dwarvish, so
I thought everyone understood Dwarvish.
they were the
No.
two that did not. Everybody else does.
Oh, then I guess
Right,
I
everyone
guess
in
I
our
will
little
respond
party.
in
I was gonna
common.
say,
I'll say, I like just ancestor to all dragons.
and she'll just make some passing comments, like, my dad killed a dragon.
I'll look at-
Wait. Did you actually say that passively?
Yeah.
He's the one wearing, or she's wearing like black
Yeah.
dragon scale, right?
Right.
That's what it was.
Oh, black. Yeah, that's right. Black dragon scales.
Well,
Yes.
I don't care if you kill a black dragon. Like,
Yeah,
I
look at the
I guess I'd say I
dragon
noticed.
is not with-
Oh,
and gives the thumbs up.
What about
definitely
Hun? What did that say? Sorry.
Just looks at the person who says that their relative or they themselves killed the dragon, just gives a thumbs up.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm just like, well, such is the way. As I say a little bit more passively back, and
As does look at you. Ace, you're silver, right?
yes.
Okay, Ace does he does look at you, as we'll look at you and ask, in Draconic, how does Bahamut appear to you?
I just look at one really puzzled, and two, I'm just like, hard to describe, easy to understand in Draconic.
I chime in. He's a brass dragon.
I shoot back, no.
All in Draconic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, look, we've had this conversation. Again, in Draconic.
The silence that follows, and the passive stare that you can tell has a slight bit of malice behind it.
I'll actually repeat to Ez though. I'm just like, I'll show you later. Just to make it more complicated in Draconic.
As cocks his head, you'll show me.
Hey, we can't be that suggestive on Twist.
Just a question. I know my character doesn't know, but does Bahamut follow the like actual canonical Bahamut in your world? Because I know canonically he's a platinum dragon.
Yes. I am waiting to divulge that information.
Okay, so they're not aware of that yet.
No,
I
they
just
don't
didn't
know.
if that. I didn't know if that was like
Just
public knowledge or general knowledge about Bahamut. Or...
no, it's not. So Bahamut, the form he's been taking to everybody he's speaking to is whatever form they expect to see.
Okay.
So when Donar has seen Bahamut, he's just saw an ancient brass dragon.
All right. I was just making sure
of
that
silver.
that wasn't general
Oh,
knowledge
silver?
that Donar was just like trying to.
Oh, he's a
intentionally
brass
change.
dragon.
Oh no, a brass dragon with hints of silver.
Oh yeah, with hints of silver. That's right. So as far as his actual face has not been revealed yet.
All right.
But yes, a lot of times the dragon and the colors that he's chosen to, if you look at Silver Shield, is a black outline on a a white background. So a symbol is still a dragon, but it's black on white.
All right.
It's also important to note that well, I don't know if it's important, but it's relevant to note that the symbol of Bahamut on my robes, again, is brass colored, not black on white.
Yep. So there is differences in interpretations, if you will. Yeah. And that's all I'll say because I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, like I said, I was just trying to figure out if that was general knowledge and then Donar was just intentionally trying to change it.
No, he's a brass, definitely. Alright, and you said you rolled a 21 on your perception?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, it was a 19.
A 19. So anybody else was looking around, if you're looking around for swords specifically, there is one shop that has caught your eye with a lot of wares out, like almost like behind glass and besides a door that had, fantastic looking long swords and rapiers and well adorned blades, much better than that port city that you saw beforehand.
Yeah, so she'll get sidetracked again and start to look at.
So yeah, it would be window shopping, right? This one is a closed, and you can walk into the door. They're not closed now.
Oh yeah, I mean she'll just walk in.
Okay. So she walks in, and so does everybody else follow her when she just walks into this weapon shop?
I mean, I'll go in.
Sure, why not?
I'm just gonna hang
Okay.
around outside.
Kay
Okay.
does the
Leaning
same.
against
He
the
hangs
door.
around outside.
Okay, so Kay and Big Dune are outside. Who else is outside?
I'll hang out outside as well.
All right.
Well,
So
I guess is it busy inside or is it pretty?
no, this shop at around it's now about probably 3:30. Is not too busy.
Okay, yeah, then I definitely am inside then.
So anybody who would be looking at the sign out would see Delta's Crafts as the name of the shop. I imagine Amiko did not care about that, just saw a pretty shiny thing. So
Yep.
from here, when you walk in, you see not just swords, but definitely the swords probably will catch your eye. But there is a slew of different well-crafted armors and weaponry stationed on the sides. Like weapons seem to be on the left side, armors and everything are on the right side. And there is a counter space, and this counter is made of metal. It's a metal that is adorned with like little hammers on each corner and stuff like that. You can tell even his there's not a spot on here that's metal that's not been touched by a master dwarf or master craft. And behind it is a female dwarf. She's got the sandy blonde hair, and she's just sitting behind the counter. You walk in, and it almost kind of there's nobody else in the shop. She's like alerted, awake, and she walks up and almost rushes over to Oi, is there anything I can do to help you?
Before she even makes it to it, Emmy's done picked up a sword. It's kind of.
Yep. And yeah, none of these are behind glass or anything like that. So you definitely can. The sword that you pick up here. Let me. Yeah, it's a long sword, and it's very finely crafted. It's probably. I mean, obviously your katana is something special, right? But you could tell that it is the same level of patience and work that were put into your katana was put into this longsword.
Yeah, I just looking over, was kind of not even acknowledging that she asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, craftsmanship on this is amazing, but it's so heavy.
Yeah, and here, and she reaches up and she looks at that sword on your hip and be like, well, this might be the reason why. And she takes her 2 fingers and she puts it about like 3 or 4 inches ahead of where the hilt is. And she goes, this is where our center of balance is on our weapon. And she kind of guides where your hand is. And she would help you, like, because you're not used to holding a longsword, right? And
I doubt Emmy's ever even seen one.
Yeah, so she moves your hand to the point where it almost zero out the balance, and it feels natural, almost like holding the katana. Except obviously you knew that you would wield this vastly differently, just because it's a flat blade and not a curved.
Yeah, so she'll just kind of like rotate it around and so not really giving it swings. She is more
yeah
restrained than that.
Then I cut down the dwarven lady and told
took everything in the shop. My shop now. Guys, we run a weapon shop.
I don't know what you guys are going to be interested in yet. I can't wait.
Does anybody have blacksmithing skills?
By the way, I just so anyone, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for almost any craft like experience, even pepper making or whatever you want to do.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need to talk to you about that afterwards. 'Cause
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure how we're gonna handle that mechanically.
Yeah,
but
we
I don't
could
think
we
that'll
could
come up
take
this
we could
session.
we'll take that offline and we'll discuss what we need to do about that. But yep.
But yeah, I'll like look over the sword and be like, and just talk to her. It's like, I'm really not in the market for a new one, and I'll kind of pull mine out and show it to her. It's like I just admire blades, and so I like to go where they're made in every place I go and just see what kind there are.
She looks, her eyes are wide, do you mind?
I will hand it over to her, but very cautiously.
Yeah, and she'll graciously like accept. She's like, just I thought this balance is entirely different in terms of how we would craft our blades, but it's still tremendous edge, and she's like mumbling to herself. But then after a few moments, she goes, "This is expertly made. I can see why you're not in the market, as well as your armor too." But then she looks, and she's like, "But this doesn't look like it was made for you."
No, you could say that. This armor used to belong to my father.
Do you have trouble moving in that?
I suppose it doesn't always sit exactly right.
And she just kind of looks, and she's like literally like almost. If you have a personal bubble, she's definitely invading it. Not to the point where she's touching you, right? She's just really looking. And it's like, this might be really hard for you to fight in. I'm surprised. It's definitely excellent quality, but it feels like you just need it fitted.
She just like thinks for it. She's like, you can do that?
Oh, I mean, that's dragon scale. It's difficult to work with, but my husband definitely could.
It's like, how long would something like that take?
Ooh, well, with this current backlog and the Merchants Guild has been hammering us for demands, I don't know if he'd be able to and at this point, when she says that, like, you hear, like, in the back of the shop, just pounding of hammer. Like, it's been constant, but it's almost felt like a back noise. But when she points it out, you hear, like, just the pounding of metal at this point. She's like, I know that he would love to work on this, but we are so busy. I think it would probably take a couple of days before we could do that. And I imagine you are without armor in the meantime. And this probably has a specific meaning towards you. you can tell it's. I imagine it's adorned, right? Like it has, besides just being,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she can see that this is special.
Yeah, it was designed to be more of kind of like ornament, but it's still
Yeah.
completely functional.
Yep. So she goes, I wish I could tell you we could get it to you like same day or in a couple hours, but until we meet out these other current demands from the Merchants Guild, that's gonna take priority. But you could check back. Hopefully we could close that within a couple of weeks or so.
Oh yeah. My it's like I think you kind of misunderstood my question. I wasn't asking when you could get to it. I was more so asking how long
Oh,
it would take once you get to it.
oh, this would definitely my husband is a master crafter. This wouldn't be a full day's work. It would be under 12 hours, easy.
And how much would that cost?
I am in charge of the finances. It's hard for me to speculate though, depending on how much work that he would need to do. And then I'm gonna say, in the book of does it have scale mail in your player's handbooks?
Yeah, it does. I believe scale. Well,
Depends on what the next iteration. I know we discussed this. So whatever price that is will be the price that she quotes you. I don't have that
so
information in front of me.
I have chainmail right now. The
Okay.
next step up would be splint.
Splint mail? Okay.
Yeah,
So whatever price that is for initial fitting.
that's 200.
All right. So that's 200 gold.
Yep.
Yeah, that will be what she quotes you. And there's obviously stuff we can further do to enhance, but first we would have to fit it to you, and that would be the first step, and that would probably run you around 200 gold.
All right. Well, I need to make some money before then, I suppose.
And at this point, everybody else who's been paying attention to how she's been throwing out gold to know that 200 gold is the limit breaker. You can almost identify how much money she has. Like, she's well off, but not that well off. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been watching, but to me, I don't know what the worth of good is in this city. So I'm just like, okay, I'm starting to understand how the economy of the city works by watching this interaction.
Definitely.
More so than understanding how much money that she has.
Gotcha.
So I will thank her for her time and tell her that I will check back when I have the means to do so.
Well, thank you so much, and tell your friends, you won't find any better than Delta's Craft.
Okay.
After she steps away from the counter, I'm just like, how long does it take to learn how to make things like this?
Are you asking Diagon? Or, not Diagon, sorry. You're asking the Dwarven lady? She hasn't said her name, by the way.
Yes. I mean, I just walk up after the interaction, just like, so how long does it take to make? And I just address that neutrally.
Like, how long does it take to make a specific item, or are you asking for an apprenticeship?
Yes to the first one, and are you taking apprenticeships for the second?
The first one is, it depends on the item. Longswords generally won't take, even that weapon that she made took about 14 hours total. Armor is much more difficult to work with, and reshaping existing armor is fast, like I told your friend, but making it from scratch, that could take a couple of days. As far as apprenticeships go, my husband is not taking an apprentice that he would have to teach from the ground up, but if it's something where if you could make something already, like if you already had some sort of skill or some sort of natural talent, and you could help us fill in some of these orders by doing that, then yeah, we would take you under our wing as an apprenticeship. You could use our workshop.
I nod. I'm just like, I wasn't actually interested because I, for one, am not someone who does this, but it's good to know, and I'll keep an eye out to send someone your way if I see someone.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
I just look around the shop. I'm like, it's a very fine shop. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Amy will kind of just, after Silver gets done and starts to head out, she'll be like, quite impressive. He made these in, 15 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
And by the
it
way,
took-
even your master smiths would.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I know it took like probably a little over 3 months to make my sword.
Yes. Your sword was also folded 10,000 plus times,
Yeah,
as opposed to long swords you don't have to do that with.
yeah.
So this
But
is
she's not aware of that.
Yes.
So she thinks that
In the-
15 hours is impressive.
Oh yeah, and the funnier thing too is for some blacksmithing knowledge for everybody in the chat, since I have it. Generally, when you fold a katana, everything after 10 is you no longer have to do that. Like, it doesn't
it's
really
kinda
doing
pointless.
anything else. However,
Yeah.
it's such tradition that they tend to do that anyway. So yeah, like, honestly speaking, if you're really good at making a sword, you can make one in under a day. So, anyway. Alright, tidbit over. Click. She goes, well, yeah. And if we would love if we could, obviously, you know, you're not from here, but we would love to trade notes with a craftsman who've made your katana. Knowledge goes so far in this world, and we can share ours.
Oh, well, it might be a little difficult to get that knowledge.
Yeah, obviously she
I mean,
doesn't know that you're not, like, you've been spirited away from your continent. She almost thinks you're an envoy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe then. Well, we hope you come back, and we would love to fit your armor.
No, thank you. And yeah, let's finally make our way to the
barracks.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I've just been sitting outside, like, keeping an eye out for cut purses and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Big
By the way, you
town.
could tell that there's been some people, and this is not a very high perception check, so I don't need to make anybody roll. You could tell there's been people casing you, but, like, I've never seen somebody with wings, a dragonborn, a furbolg, an Asian person. Like, they're at this point in a tiefling, they've just been like, nah, we ain't fucking with that. So there's definitely a good, if you will, of being a little bit different than other people in terms of you've been cased by a couple of people, but no one's been ballsy enough to do it until these dice roll something. Anyway, all right. So as far as marketplace goes, there are definitely other marketplaces. But the one that caught your shop was definitely the best craft. You do see there is another elven shop as well, that and Fletcher's bows and stuff like that. But I'll let you decide if you obviously want to go into the merchants, and the Crafter's Terrace is huge. The marketplace is massive. You definitely pass other stores with other weaponry, but at a quick glance, nothing would look as good as Delta's Craft.
Yeah. I might give a quick glance as we go, but if I don't see anything that stands out, just keep moving on.
Yeah, nothing in terms of, especially since Emmy likes swords, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing with a sword showcase out in the front like that. Everything else is more armor and or like amulet or boat related. So if that intrigues anybody else, let me know if you guys are looking to shop. But imagine we're just beginning, so let's we'll get to the barracks, unless somebody wants to do something. So at this point, a shift has taken place, so the people that were there earlier are not there this time. Now we have a gnome. Looks like he's in the front for the main brakes for the gate. Right before the barracks, and walks up and sees, we heard about you on our last shift. A whole bunch of unique individuals. What can we help you with?
We were told that we could possibly use your training grounds for a little practice.
Oh yeah, definitely. Here, let me show you where they're at. And he, almost follows the wall, and there's a building that's right inside the gate, if you will, like this one right here, and behind it is like a sanded lot. You see two people actually sparring on it right now. And behind them is Archer's Range with some dummy straws. There's also a wooden dummy situation. It reminds you of Amico, of the dolls that you would have. The difference being that there's more straw and padding related to theirs instead of the tatami rolls that you're used to, and the wooden dowels that you're used to is a lot more, finer crafted wood for hand-to-hand combat. This is definitely just like some wood that's stuck together. It's definitely not the same quality that you're used to, but it will suffice.
All right. I will, I guess, thank the guard that led us there.
Yeah, if you need anything else around the city, just let me know.
Yep.
Just walks back to his post in front of the gate.
And then I will go towards where the, dolls or whatever are. And then just sit down on the ground and basically meditate there for an hour.
All right, so that's an hour of meditation. While you're doing that, anybody can, if they're martially inclined, can tell me what they're gonna do. I want you, though, if you can, to roll me. Let's do an insight check.
Insight. 15.
Okay. All right. So your meditation's going really well. Despite being spirited away, you're definitely feeling that center that you normally do in your meditation, and you're feeling good.
All right.
Your body feels limber and ready to go. So,
I'm gonna just walk over and sit down next to her and kind of meditate myself.
All right. So also do an insight check for me. And what's everyone else doing?
Is there anything to read in the vicinity?
No. This is you would have to go inside for the barracks, and even then, there's not a reading ground like a library or anything like that.
Yeah.
Ez is gonna find himself a practice dummy or something of the like.
Yeah, I actually, before if we're here to spar, I actually would ask if someone wants to spar.
Okay.
I'm like, I want to test out, and I touch my shield. I want to test this out.
Okay. So Ez is on a practice dummy?
I mean, if he's offering to spar,
I'll spar with him. All right, sweet. And you guys can do attack rolls against the AC if you'd like, if you want. If you guys are using live weaponry, and you beat the AC, I need you to, obviously, if you want to hurt him, you can. If you also want to use the flat of the blade instead, you go ahead and do that, and there's no penalty.
There's dull practice swords on a rack nearby.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. There's wooden swords for you to use. You don't have to use. And there's also what we like to call live steel, which is still steel weaponry, but the blades are dulled, so the worst you can do is break a bone.
It's a practice sword. It's a dull blade.
Yeah. There's also wooden ones.
Where did you get the term live steel from?
So in show business, what you would use for wooden for your stage swords are called live steel, even though it's not live steel.
Okay, so you all call it live steel.
Mm-hmm.
See, in HEMA we just call it a practice blade.
Yeah, and that would be the better term for it. I think live steel is more showcasey than it needs to be, but welcome to showbiz.
Like live steel. I think that's more interesting. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's the reason why we use stuff like that. So, I come from a swords background, so I know a lot of stupid tidbits like that. So,
I did HEMA for 8 years.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's just these last 2 years I haven't been able to get back to the dojo and do anymore. Sucks. I'm rusty now and I hate it.
Oh, I hear you. I've been way too lazy. But anyway.
Tell me how. Yeah. I definitely understand the feeling. I've done 8 years of American Kenpo, and I going back after 2 years, super rusty.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I punched myself in the face with someone else's hand by parrying when I should have done an outward block.
Jesus.
I was younger, I did MMA, mixed martial arts, and then went into HEMA because it was way more interesting to me than punching people.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
See, I just enjoyed the whole punching people part. Like,
Yep.
That's all I did. I just punched people a lot.
Yep, that sounds about right. That's my childhood
But
for the most part.
it was a lot cooler at
I've
the
only
time
done-
to use a weapon, and especially a sword. It just felt much cooler to do.
I agree. I've done a little bit of everything, but yeah. And Sam, you did some
Also,
Muay Thai.
I've done
wearing heavy armor
kickboxing,
is
Muay Thai, and a very little
Yeah.
taekwondo.
Yeah.
I do jujitsu now as well.
Shit.
Good compliment for
Yeah.
striking arts.
Well, we've only got 15 minutes, so let's kind of. What's Donar and Kay doing, if anything, while everybody else is training? And you guys can roll up against his DC. Just roll a basic attack for me. And you two that are meditating, if you're meditating on a specific style, or if you're just trying to do Zen focus, if you have a point of something that you're trying to meditate on specifically, just let me know. If you're just trying to do a centered thing, though, obviously that's fine too.
Yeah. It's been like probably
Essentially.
2 weeks since Emiko's had an official training
Yeah.
session. Or not, so she's probably just trying to get
Back to her
back
roots.
back to that focus and not really trying anything new right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, get back to the
Trying
routine.
to figure out what's going on.
Big ol' Dune. You might be trying to reach back to Melora, if you will.
Yeah, just see if I get any more insights now
Okay.
that I'm with this group.
All
that
right,
she pointed me
definitely.
at.
All right. And you rolled a 15?
18.
18. All right. You see the tower in your next vision. You see the tower itself. And you feel this almost strong pulling sensation towards the center of the town where the tower is. You feel like after this, you know, that's where they want you all to go. Not to narratively push you. You guys can do whatever you want. This campaign doesn't need you to go to the tower yet. I'm just letting you know that is
Or
kind of what
ever.
you feel.
We just
Try-
ignore it.
You can. I seriously have enough in this city for you guys to have not found that you never even have to step foot in the tower, and we can do a whole entire campaign. But yes, just you do feel a strong tugging sensation though, that like she wants you to go to the tower.
Copy.
And what about Kay and Donar while they're sparring? And
Well,
the other two are meditating.
My answer depends on the answer to the question I asked you. On
Yeah, no books
Discord.
around, my friend.
No. The
Oh.
one I asked on private chat.
Oh, my bad. Here, let me.
Real quick, if you don't have anything else for me, I'm probably just gonna head out so I can get in the shower because I gotta drive.
Yeah,
like,
no, I
11.
hear you. You got an early day tomorrow. I do too. So I think we'll end up after this training session. We'll decide where we want to go from there. But yeah, there'll probably be nothing. We'll end it after this. No new content.
Thank you guys. It was awesome. I've missed all of you except
We
for the
love it.
girl, because I don't know who she is.
That's my sister.
Hey.
Yeah, that's my sister, and she joined after you left. So
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Never met you.
Hey, I got 3 girls that I'll play. So I mean,
That's
you know,
cool.
it's my 2 daughters and my wife all play. So it's
Aw.
awesome to see more women getting into it.
definitely.
And don't ever let me offend you. I'm not saying I won't. I'm
Oh,
just saying don't let
dude, that's my sister. I don't. It's probably not possible, but let's not try it. All right, man. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. So you said. Oh yeah, you do your. If that's what you want to do during this section, go ahead and roll a 1d20 for me. If you roll a 20, you've figured it out. If you didn't roll a 20, we'll see how close you get.
Okay. Just a raw 1d20.
Yeah, just 1d20. No modifiers, nothing.
Gonna do this in roll 20.
That's
but,
fine. Whatever is easiest for you.
I mean, I like doing rolls where it's like actually publicly visible.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, I'm assuming anyone watching would just see me like
It's almost like deep
no.
breathing, right? Like he's just
Pu-
like.
with occasional bursts of flame.
Yeah.
Small puffs of flame coming out of my mouth.
Yep. So with a 3, man, it's just all like you can't reach down and get that same breath. It's only fire. You're not really making any strong headway as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll spend that whole time doing that.
Out of character, I was actually going to be very disappointed if I had rolled a 20 and gotten it, because I was in my head just planning for it to be ineffectually puffing fire out and making no actual progress.
Yeah, which is good, right? So that's exactly what everybody sees, and that's what happens. All right, what about Kay?
He's gonna take his quarterstaff and try to hit the dummy.
All right. So since you're gonna be rolling a d20 attack on that, go ahead. And then Ez should roll a d20 attack. If you're not using your weapons, just roll a 1d20 plus your strength modifier.
14.
I'm gonna grab a
14
practice
for you.
sword about
Okay.
like a practice great sword.
Okay.
Because that's the main weapon of choice at the moment. So
Yep.
I'm discarding. I'm
Yeah, you're just
practicing
trying to do
defense.
the shield.
Yeah.
All right.
it's a 19.
All right. Does that hit
matches.
Silver?
That matches.
All right, so that would be a hit. Go ahead and I want you to roll a dex saving throw against it.
Dex save. Okay. That's a 9.
All right, so it hits you blocking with your shield.
Yes.
All right. So at this, you get a +1 though, don't you? Did I make that shield a +1? Did you already have that?
Yes.
All right, so that's the 19. So you feel it when it strikes against the Bahamut's face. It hurts like your forearm to the point where it's bruised. Like the amount of strength he has behind it. There's a lot of, I'm not going to use the word emotion, but just straw force. There's something else besides just that striking. But you feel it. You would hurt. If this was a live blade, you feel like it may have even dented your shield.
Jeez.
Like that's how much power this person has. And with a fort, go ahead.
Out of sheer kind of, I don't know what this would be at this point, but I am going to do a follow up, and use my wing to kind of sweep his feet.
Okay. Go ahead and do a normal. It'd be his turn. You're just defending though, right? Silver's just defending, so he's not going to do an attack back. So yeah, go ahead and you can roll be whatever your strength modifier is against his AC.
Strike because.
Okay, and with a 14K, you're making good solid hits, but this feels weird to you. You normally don't like you're trained in a staff, right? But it's not really like you go ahead and hit a practice dummy, right? Very often, I would imagine. But you get the hang of it. You don't look out of place. Kay looks like, someone I'm training with a staff. So go ahead and make your second attack roll if you haven't already. Oh, I didn't mean to close the Notion.
I just opened mine.
So with a 14, you either see that happen, Silver, and you can step over it, or you can, if you really want to focus on the shield, you can bring his shield to his leg. However you want to avoid that attack.
I'll bring the shield down.
Okay. And this is fitting, right? Because that sort of pain that he gave you through that bludgeoning, you now feel that back into your shin. That same type of... It's not enough to actually damage you and take a hit point away, right? But almost enough to be like, you got me, here, I'm going to get you. And if there's any venom behind that, that's behind your characters. I'm just stating the feeling of the pain.
Taking an opportunity that his shield is down, I am going to overhead strike immediately as he pushes the shield down to block the wing, to get him on the shoulder.
Okay.
16.
All right. If we're sword training, Silver, you can bring that right back up in an unblinding speed, or you can dodge. It's up to you.
No, I'm just training to see how much the shield can take. I bring it right back up to the sword.
So unlike the time before where he kind of struck that shield and it hurt you, this time you were able to meet it in enough strength that it just glances right off.
You mean that you angle it properly this time?
Or
right?
that. There's two different ways
You're
you
not
can
really
do it.
trying to catch it straight on with a shield, as I understand it.
You can. It depends on the type of shield,
Yeah.
to be real with you. But yeah, in this case, angling it would make more sense, especially with a
Yeah.
greatsword.
Yeah.
There are certain shields though that are meant to like trap blades, but this isn't
Yes,
one of
but
them.
from your description,
This is not one of them, and
No.
and you're never gonna do that with a greatsword. So
I got all the way to the greatsword. Oh crap! I got all the way to the greatsword.
yeah, exactly.
What is the design of the shield, by the way? Like, I know it has Bahamut's crest on it, but what is it like? What is the actual type of shield?
It's
I
yeah. Go ahead, you tell him.
was thinking more like a Tarj, like a bigger Tarj. I guess closer to that of a the size of like a what's it called? I'm forgetting the word. It's a round shield is what I'm going for, but it's the full round shield size.
Yeah.
Okay, so a Tarj. A Tarj
Yeah.
is what you're looking.
Yeah, but I think Torches are a little bit smaller than round shields, right?
Yes,
They
technically.
they can be larger.
No, yeah, but think of it as a standard round shield, but it's like a full. It's not as like it's not a personal shield. It's the full shield, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's like a Viking shield, the Viking round
Yeah.
shield.
But it's not a full. It's actually metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what. Yeah, I think it's just a round. I think it's just.
You call it a round
Yeah,
shield.
it'd be a war round shield.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's that design.
All right, and you
Okay.
guys will go back and forth for this for a little bit. I'll say, for everyone, it's been probably a little bit since you guys trained and been in combat. As not so much, but for a different reason. And
I mean,
yeah, it's still new.
whatever.
It feels, yes, exactly. So no one's learned anything in terms of like a different technique, but everything, it feels good for a lot of people to start up again. Even for Kay, this feels like I don't know. After all the stress of everything they've been through, it's almost like it feels nice to just go back to basics, and that's where we will end this session is everyone's training session. If you want to do something else afterwards, what we can do is a one-on-one. You can tell me what else you want to do, but we're going to treat it that the training session for this is over, and we'll end it around, I would say, 5 p.m. So it's close to sunset. And if you guys, we will take this off and we will